Iris one.
Hi, Iris.
Okay. Now we were using LUT environment, right? Let me go to that environment. So in the last sessions, we have seen plugin. So when do we use plugins? Whenever you want to implement some critical logic which is not available in the out of the box for automate flows or out of the box workflows. In such scenarios, you will write your own C# logic and you will bind it to the plugin registration tool. In the plugin registration tool, you will have the event when do you want to trigger that, and you will have the message, everything. So when do you want to execute everything? So like that, CRM is providing a flexibility to the developer. They can bind their own logic to the execution pipeline, like create or update or like that. Okay. So whenever you're writing plugin means something you're writing very custom, like you have some complex logic, you should have a complex logic, because whatever we are doing, creating a record, you can create a record with Power Automate Flow as well. There is no need to write a plugin. If you are writing a plugin means you have to maintain the code, you need to check in the DL, you need to reset the DL, lot of things needed. Suppose if you create a Power Automate Flow, that is very simple, right? You just create a Power Automate Flow, within the 2-3 steps you will create a record. But for the same code, if you for the same thing, if you want to create a plugin, you need to take care code. You need to check in the code somewhere. You need to maintain that code. You have to register a generated DL. You need to register the DL. Lot of things needed. So try to use Power Automate out of the box workflows only whenever possible. Unless you need some custom implementation, custom logic, complex logic, then go for plugins. So now today we are extending our discussion for the custom logics only. So last class we have seen plugins, right? So today we are going to see custom workflows activities. So we have seen activities, right? We have seen workflows, right? We have out of the box workflows, that those are nothing but a power process. So in the process also you can add custom logic, same like plugin. The main difference between plugin and custom workflow is like plugin will be triggered on based upon the event. Like whenever record is created, it will trigger. Will you be able to make it make on demand? No, right? But if you have some logic in the workflows, custom workflow, with help of out of the box workflows, you can call it on demand. Okay. So here in the Power Platform environment settings, we will have processes, right? So in the process, what we'll do, we will create the workflows, right? Like this, if we click on new, you will get the process, what kind of thing you want to do. You will be selecting and you will be selecting the respective entity. Okay. Well, let me see some entity. What we are using plugin practice. So in the plugin practice, we are using major list, right? So I'm just selecting the village entity. So that I'm repeating the entity village, and it is like custom workflow. So whenever you want to write customer flow, for that also you should have a out of the box workflow. Customer flow direct we can't call directly. You should have a one out of the box workflow. So that is nothing but a process we just created. Now where is our process 14 customer flow example. So here now what we will do, we will need we need to add, we want to add our some custom logic, right? So let's do that. So this is normal typical process window where you could see the all steps. Now if you see here in the normal while learning out of the box workflows, we have seen right add stage everything. Let me maximize it or open it from Maker portal. I'm creating a new solution for today's, or you can use existing plugin practice. So here, what I did, I just created one process, right? So I will add that process to my solution. Add existing automation process. So if you click on process, it will appear everything. So what is my customer, for example? I'm adding here. Now, once you add it, expand this and open the process. So it will open like a separate tab instead of this narrow window. You can have it a separate. Now, if you see here, what you are seeing within this out of the box process or out of the box workflow, you can add some OOB capabilities like create record, upgrade record, everything. On top of this, you can add also custom logic. If you see here, you have one kind of DLL, Microsoft.Power Pages.runtime. So like that, whenever you build a custom workflow with the help of Visual Studio, if you register to your environment, that will come here. Let's see that. Okay. So for that, using custom workflow, let's assume like I have a requirement like for this, what is this? For this village entity only. So in this village entity, we have few columns, right? Let's use some column. Mail count to total population. So I want to have a some workflow where it will do the all calculation male count, female count whenever I call this workflow. Okay. So for that purpose, what I need to do, I need to open Visual Studio. So whenever you want to build custom workflow plugin, what you need to do, you need to create a new solution, right? So create a new project, give some name. You have to use class library .NET framework. Click on next and make sure like the version is 4.7.1 or below for workflows or plugins. And I'm naming this as a custom workflow example. I just some name and my local location is the code will be stored in this user slash pc slash source repos. So whenever you click on create, the class library will be created. In that class library, you will be writing your custom code. So what I'm expecting from this custom code, so instead of using plugin, I want to use workflows to calculate the same this count. Okay. So for that one, so as we informed, we will be using ChatGPT only for this requirement as well. So how to we should know how what is your recommend, how to you ask, how to ask ChatGPT as well. Okay. Now, so I will pass the schema names as well this time. So it will be easy. Okay. Calculate the total population an on demand whenever AOB workflow and which has the custom workflow to calculate the total population. So you can define this or not required because obviously everyone will be using Visual Studio only. Okay, so I'm just entering using SE. You want to calculate the total population using restaurant and when all calculate software. So total population, male count, female count, children count. Visual Studio, they are asking to create 4.6 or above. Microsoft Custom is we need to install 4 for custom workflow. So earlier case for the plugin we are using iPlugin, right? Here you will be using the code activity. That is the difference between custom workflow and plugin. So now if you see here you are passing male count, female count, what you are passing the female count, everything. Output argument is like total argument. Okay. Now like this is code is generating. So I'm just copying this and putting there directly. Same like plugin class. So I'm just replacing the my entire C# CS file. So if you see here solution, you have the solution. Within the solution, you have this class library, and this class one is the our workflow. Now I'm just replacing the workflow. Now you are getting some errors. Now we need to fix. So I just added directly the code. As per the steps, what I need to do, I need to install the NuGet packages, right? NuGet. So what are those? Microsoft CRM assemblies and core assembly workflows. Manage NuGet packages. Look for them. You will get that dataverse one, which is latest table. Install the latest table one. So once you install, the errors will count will decrease. Earlier, how many we have? 27. Let it done. So where I'm seeing errors, in the class file you have this 27 number right here. So once you install, automatically two errors will be gone. Now it came to 13. So what is the leftover one? Microsoft XRM.SDK workflow. So install that as well. Otherwise here they have given this right. So you can copy from here or directly from NuGet. You can use anything. Search this as well and browse for it. Install. This is stable version. So now the error count will be decreased more further. No issues found. So everything we have. So if you now you got the code right, you need to understand what you are doing. Now if you see here, input male count, female male count, children male count, they are seeing as a input. Now their output they are passing as a total population as a decimal. So last time if you remember while creating the plugin, whenever you are using decimal for count, we are getting error, right? Because male count is an integer. So just replace this count everywhere. Okay, wherever we have decimal, replace with int because we created int data type, right? On the village entity or streets entity. So let's use the same execute now. So what's happening? This is the code, same like plugin execute. Here also you will be having exit. So there also you will having the context. Here also you will be having the context. So with these lines you will be getting the context. So whoever is running everything you will be getting. Okay. Now tracing service also we added. Last time we discussed right to know the when till where your code is executing, what is happening in the middle. Within this base log service, you can see the logs. These are the out of the box logs. So if you want to create some custom logs, custom table, you can create them and you can create a record. Okay. Now here also I will replace the type, data type. Any questions, guys? Please ask. No, this is simple, right? And you are passing into total male, female children. Those are calculating and total population you are setting. Total population is nothing but my output parameter. Set context of total. Now update the record. Village total population total. Update the village. Okay. Now after that one we are writing this. So once you're done with everything, what you need to do? You need to build your class library, and this will be succeeded. So what you need to do? You need to open plugin registration tool, same like that one. You need to register your assembly. Open plugin registration exe, create a connection, log into your environment. So authenticate your sign in. So you need to log into your environment, right? So just click on this. Just waiting for loading. Now it is done. Now same like plugin, what you need to do? You need to register it, right? For registering, you will be using register option, register a new assembly because we create a new thing, right? So register new assembly, select the DLL. So how do you select the DLL? You have to go to the bin folder. So for that one, open folder in File Explorer, copy this path, look it in the bin. Put it here. So go to bin, debug folder, DLL. Just now it is updated, right? Now select. As it has only calculate total population single CS file, you will get only one. If you have multiple, you will get the multiple plugins here, workflows here. So that day we told, right, for the as we are using sandbox online environments, this will be sandbox only. The location will be database only by default. Register selected plugins. There is no change in the registering plugin and workflow. And if you see here, public assembly must be have a public key token. So what we have discussed for this one, we need to make a sign in, right? So for that purpose, go to properties, click on signing the key. Why I'm getting this error? Last class we have got the same thing. What did I do that time? Nikhil. So last time also I got same error. So what I have done that time? I need to open Visual Studio with my administrator instead of direct. So open the solution again. build it. No, new one signing is done. Now build it again. You can use build or rebuild option. Build succeeded. Now go back to plugins tool, load assembly again. Select the DLL, new DLL. Select it, register selected plugins. One assembly registered, one plugin registered. One plugin means nothing but a workflow. Now what you are doing, you have a custom workflow here where you are passing all values input, uh, male count, female count, children count, and you are getting back the total population count. Okay. Now I want to use this DLL within the out of the box process. I can't call directly because we haven't registered any event, we haven't registered any entity, right? So you just built the DLL and add it to the CRM environment. Now to call this DLL, you must use some or other out of the box process, some or other out of the box workflow. Okay. So let's go back to my process wherever we are doing. To get the changes, just refresh this page. So I'm done now here. I want to call this as an on demand, right? So I'm not selecting any event here as an on demand. Now step. So what I want to add a custom DLL, right? Earlier we used to have only one Microsoft Power Pages. Now it is showing this and vessel, right? Now select this. Within one class library, you can have multiple. That's why it is showing extra drop down. Right now, as we have only one, I am selecting that one. So once you click on this one, select this. Here you are getting set properties. Why? Why? Because you are passing input arguments, right? You need to pass the values. That's why you are getting as a set properties option. By default, you will be having, if you have set properties, it will be shown here. Okay. Now, here you want to pass the data. From where did you get the data? As you are calling it from the village entity, you have to use the village entity attributes. You have children, dynamic values, children count, female count, right? So for the first one, male count, I have to use male count. Add. You need to select this, add it. For the female count, what you need to do? You have to select female count. You need to add it. Children count, same, add it. So like this, you are passing. Now save and close. So now you're done with your changes, right? Now we are using extra output parameters, right? So after this plugin, if you add any extra step, anything, that time you could see that output parameter from previous step. What is the output parameter from the previous step? This auto argument. That is nothing but a total population. Okay. So to explore that one, let's create a major village entity. Let's create that. So before that, I want to add a condition. So I'm just removing this step. So add step, check condition. What is that check condition I want to use? I want to use if the total population is greater than 10,000 or not, or greater than 1,000 or not, like that. Okay. So if you see local values, you have village workflow dot total population. You are having something. So total population. From where did you get this total population? As you are having this total population output argument, that's why you are getting total population value. Okay, getting equals or greater than is greater than or equal to. Let's assume 1,000. or you can have it directly 10,000. So in that scenario, what I will do, when the total population is greater than 10,000, I will be creating, I want to create a major village with the same data. So add step, for creating a record, you have to use create record, right? Go to create record. What is my entity? Major village entity. I want to create major village, right? So look for it, major village. And now you have to set the properties. From where did you set the properties? We don't have it in the, wait, 1 second. Major village, we haven't customized, no? We don't have any form. So set properties. Okay. So for major village also we should have the same attributes, right? Let's create that attributes. Go to Power Apps tool, go to your table, click on major village, columns. So do we have the custom columns? Children count, major village. We don't have it, right? So create a new column. What is that? Male count. That should be number, whole number. It should be started from 0 because it won't be negative, right? So like this, the minimal changes you need to understand if you are capturing what you are capturing in that data field. So like that, you need to add rules, add the relevant. Again, number, whole number, and changing this to 0. Children count. The next one I have to have total population, right? So keep that number, whole number, instructions. 0. Now we have 4 fields. So now I want to add that 4 fields to forms. So I'm going to form main form. Total count, total population. Done. So now what I will do, from the process I want to create this, right? So I will just save my changes to, I will debug it to get the latest changes. Any questions, guys? Able to follow me? I'm going speed. Okay. Now click on set properties. Now you could see the columns now because now we just created, right? Village name. I'm just doing some like LUT hyphen. Some I want. This is static set I'm using. After that, I want to have a same village name. We are also will have some name, right? So I will be using that. I am concatenating both the static text and dynamic text. The dynamic text from the previous village, previous wherever we are entering, and mail count should be come from the village only, right? Because same for the same village we are creating a extra record as a major village. So male count should be male count. Female should be female count. Children count should be children. Total population also you can use the direct total population, or we have this output, right? You can use that as well. So So for that purpose, you need to choose this local values. Either of them you can use. Okay. Save and close. Now what will happen? Tell me. You have a custom workflow example out of the box workflow. This won't this won't trigger on a events because you don't have anything checked. You have checked as an on demand. So it will trigger whenever you explicitly call. Then what you are doing, you are just calling this out of the box customer flow to calculate the numbers. Okay. Then what you are doing, if the village population is greater than 10,000, you are creating a major village. This is what we are doing, right? So I am just making this as a real time workflow to see immediately, converting this to real time, then activating it. So process activation confirmation done. So now tell me. So earlier plugins, when we are calling, whenever you create a record, that time they are triggering, right? Now I don't do any operation except calling this workflow. Still it will work. So that's my, suppose if you see here, in earlier scenarios, what I was doing, I am doing some change or something else, then only it is triggering, right? I might creating straight or I might updating the mail count, then only it is triggering. Now I won't do any such operations. I will simply call this workflow. So from where to call workflow, under flows, to click on this flow drop down, it will list down the all available workflows for it. Okay. So now if you see, you have customer workflow example. This is my process name, right? The same name you are getting here. Okay. Now I want to run it. Now. So to make it more than 10,000, I'm just adding extra zeros. Okay. So now I made some changes. Earlier we have some plugin here on this, so it is calculating number. That's fine. Now do you have any major village right now? No, right? Major villages are creating from only my workflow. That workflow is not a trigger. It means now what I want to do for this village, whatever I modified just now, this one, right? The second one. Now I want to run my custom logic on this record. So what do? You have to click on flow. You need to select the workflow, whatever workflow you want to run it. So just click on this custom workflow example. This workflow will be applied for one village because you have selected one record. What does that mean? You can select multiple records also. How do you select multiple records? You will be selecting multiple records from here. Okay. But the other entity has proper data, so we are doing from here only. Okay. Doing from customer workflow example, click on OK. So what will happen? It will trigger a workflow. Now if you see, the total population is updated because in this logic, what you are adding 5670, you are adding 4440, and you are appending this. All are matching. So now population is greater than 10,000. So what it has to happen? A major village has to create, right? If you go to major village, you will have a major village. LUT suffix, the actual village name, 2025 village 2. It has data as well, right? So like this, I just done with very simple example, adding calculation logic. But in general, you will be having some complex logic like assigning users or sharing thing like that. You will be having based upon the need. So whatever the logic, what you need to do, you have to just to make use of this AI tools. You need to search your proper requirement. If you see here, last time if I don't give the schema names, that was giving a random schema names, and I have to replace it. That's why today I have given the schema names screenshot as well. So it will pick the schema names as this, and in the code also it will use exactly. So you don't need to do extra effort. So like this, you need to make sure like you need to pass all minimal details to get the output from the AI tools. Okay. Any questions here? Okay. So right now here for the process, I am not using any triggering point. It doesn't mean like the custom workflows are doesn't have any triggering point. You can also create triggering points. So now tell me guys, when do you use plugin and when do you use custom workflow? So plugin is having same logic. Plugin also you will be writing the code in C sharp. For the custom workflow also you are writing the code C sharp. So to say that basically whenever we want to run some logic repeatedly, suppose if it fails also, if the plugin fails, you can't rerun it. You have to create a, you need to trigger the event again, means you need to do the create operation or update operation again. But if you want to execute some logic based upon the need without altering the records, without initiating the events, that times we will be using the custom workflows. Okay, that is a major advantage. The next advantage is here, if you see here in the plugins, you will be having the 2 minutes timeout. But if you use out of the box workflows, these can wait. So why? Because custom workflow will be called by default from the out of the workflows. Here you can have a wait conditions. Now if you see here, click on this conditions and email. Wait also. Okay, let me activate this one. I will test. Okay, as this is a real time, you're not getting a wait. If you convert to the background, you will get the wait as well. Okay, I'm just converting this to back to background. Now, if you click on this wait condition, so what do you mean by wait condition? This process can wait for certain time. So that's why whenever if you want to execute some logic that may take 1 day or 2 days, in that scenarios you can use custom workflows. You can have the wait condition, but plugin won't wait like that. The plugin execution has to complete within 2 minutes. So suppose if it is taking more than 2 minutes also, the process execution will be failed. Okay, so in these two scenarios you will be using custom workflows over plugins. What are they? Whenever you want to execute repeat logic repeatedly, and whenever you have something which can execute more than 2 minutes. Okay, in that scenarios you will be using out of the box workflow with help of custom. Any questions here? And then now same like workflow plugin, here also you can have trace logs, everything. So here we added tracing, right? So if you go to trace logs, from where do you go? Trace logs, power platform environment settings, advanced settings, plugin trace log. If you open this, earlier we used to have plugin, right? Now you will be having workflow activity. That's the difference between plugin and workflow. The operation type will be workflow activity. If you open this one, you will be having the same kind of what is the system, what is the event it is triggered, what is the entity, what happened, what is the depth, what is the mode it is executed, and what is the comment you have kept, calculated CWAs started inputs. So these are the generic trace logs, right? So the only difference between plugin and workflow is operation type. The rest all will be same. The execution, the comments, or the properties, everything will be same. Only operation type will be varying. Okay. So in the custom workflows, you need to remember the one thing is input parameters, how to pass input parameters, how to use the output parameters. Then the rest of the execute code will be common for plugin or workflow. It won't change anything because there you will be using, here also you are using context, there also you are using context. You will be getting the context, creating the service, writing the logic. Nothing will be changed. Okay. Now in the plugin decision coming to the plugin decision tool, for the plugins you will be registering the addition. Once you register the assembly, you will be registering the messages steps, right? But for the custom workflows, you don't need to register anything directly. You will be using this DLL from the out of the box process, right? So here you don't do anything. Only you will be doing the register. You don't register any step. You don't add any message, anything. only you will be registering the assembly. Once you added the assembly, in this process only you will be making changes. Like you will be configuring it. What you want to when do you want to execute this logic? You want to execute on top or you want to execute in the middle? Want to have any conditions in between? Everything you will be doing that. Okay. Any questions here? Understanding using plugin, using ChatGPT to get the code. Anything? Any challenge? Srinivas, Sai Kalyan? Are we good?
No, Harsha, I'm good.
Okay. So for the assignments also you don't guys worry. So suppose if you see for the plugin one, we have this full length experience full length one, right? So let me download this. So this is the assignment I have shared Friday or Saturday, right? I just download it. To get this assignment to if you want to try, suppose you feel like you are missing some point, you are not understanding. So come to ChatGPT. I ask you to install Power Apps Pro, install this. So click on new chart, upload this file, give a detailed steps for doing the. You like this also, it will. So make sure like you are selecting some Power Apps for something because it will give more accurate results instead of using normal chart GPT. Using this Power Apps extended GPT, give detailed steps for doing the assignment as new to D365 here. Like this, if you mention, it will give a very detailed step-by-step steps. Now, if
In
you
by doing different projects like can we to create plugins can we use ChatGPT
not,
at the
you are not audible.
hello?
Hello?
While doing real-time projects to create plugins and workflows, can you use at the time that ChatGPT for this purpose?
I am asking to use only now. Again, what is your question?
While doing real-time projects as well.
Real time also you can use in the office. Everyone will be using ChatGPT. You will have GitHub Copilot. Now we are using. You have. If you see here, GitHub for the Microsoft. This is a Microsoft product, right? So for the Microsoft, we have a GitHub Copilot. This will be more effective. It will work, but it needs a license. For Office logins, you will be having this GitHub Copilot. You can use this GitHub also. It will give more effective code, more efficient code rather than ChatGPT. Okay. So give the this is upgrade from. Otherwise, you can just copy paste this. Let me do. So earlier we used to by heart syntax. Earlier we used to by heart the things, but now I think it's like it's kind of an open book. You can use any tool or any thing. You can at the end of the day you need to deliver the requirement. That's how now current situation. It's not like why are you? It's not a school or college, right? Why are you using tools or you're not cheating? You are completing some task for them. So they will say the completion only. They won't see what you are using. Okay. In the real time also, we will be using these tools often. Okay. Any questions? So for today's also I added the assignment for custom workflow activity. Use that. And tomorrow we will be discussing about the leftover topic here in this action that is custom actions. Now we have created a custom workflow activity, right? We will have one more custom action. We will learn about what is custom actions tomorrow and how to create it. That is also we will be writing with C# code only. The only difference is from where we are calling the behavior will be different. Now if you see that's why I just grouped this file into one server side scripting. In the server side scripting we are using C#, but we are configuring we are using different. That's why we need to we need to know when we need to use plugin, when we need to use customer flow, when should I use custom action like that. Okay. from Thursday, we don't have a class on Wednesday. From Thursday, Hanumantu will be taking the Canvas app. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Friday, you guys available or any challenge? Sorry, Saturday. He will be covering Thursday, Friday, Saturday, these 3 classes. Srinivas and Nikhil, you guys are available on Saturday
Yes,
same time or in the
yes, I am
weekend?
available. I am available.
Rizwan, what about you?